first cry of revolution became the movement of the Filipinos to fight back on the tyrannical rule of the Spanish regime. It is called as the first cry, the Revolution of Independence. There are different versions of primary sources when and where was the first cry really happened. The eyewitnesses of the first-hand information were Dr. Pio Valenzuela, Santiago Alvarez, Guillermo Masangkay, and Gregoria de Jesus. In August 19, 1896, the first five arrived in Balintawak. On August 20, 1896, Dr. Pio Valenzuela arrived. On August 22, 1896, 500 members of Katipunan met at Kangkong. August 23, 1896, Cry of Pugadlawin. On August 29, 1896, start of revolution against Spanish government. Key personality of Dr. Pio during the revolution: Andres Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, Procopio Bonifacio, Teodoro Plata, Aguedo del Rosario, Enrique Cipriano, Alfonso Pacheco. The sequence of the event: on August 19, 1896, Andres Bonifacio, Teodoro Plata, and Aguedo del Rosario was the first five arrived in Balintawak. 500 members of Katipunan met in the house and yard of Apolonio Samson at Kangkong. On August 23, 1896, over 1,000 members of the Katipunan met and carried out considerable debate and discussion. After 6 days, the revolution started against the Spanish government. Tumultuous meeting, many tore their cedula certificates. According to his account, the official date and place of the first cry was largely based on the account of Dr. Pio Valenzuela. He was present at the event as the official of the Katipunan and a friend of Andres Bonifacio. His account was published as Memoirs of the KKK and the Philippine Revolution. Santiago Alvarez, son of Mariano Alvarez and Nicolasa Viraza, also known as Kidlat Apoy. Santiago was already a Delegado General of the Provincial Council of the Katipunan in Cavite. He became Captain General and later Commander-in-Chief of the Magdiwang forces of valiantly fought the Spaniards from 1896 to 1897. His key personality, according to him, Dr. Pio, Andres Bonifacio, Lieutenant Manuel Apolonio Samson, Emilio Jacinto, Bricio Pantas, and Enrique Pacheco. On August 23, 1896, the Katipuneros met together at a place called Sampalukan, barrio of Bahay Toro. About 500 men arrived. Monday at 10 o'clock, August 24, 1896, the Supremo decided to hold a meeting inside a big barn. About 1,000 Katipuneros arrived. The meeting was adjourned at 12 o'clock amidst loud cries of "Long live the sons of the country." According to his account, the version of the cry was written by Alvarez, a well-known Katipunero from Cavite and a son of Mariano. Santiago is a relative of Gregoria de Jesus, who happened to be wife of Andres Bonifacio. Unlike the author of the first version mentioned, Santiago Alvarez is not eyewitness of this event. As a result of this version of him is not given equal value as compared with the other versions, for authors of others' account are actually part of the historic event. Guillermo Masangkay was Bonifacio's childhood friend, a member of the Katipunan, given a mission to initiate members in Cavite, assisted in holding the first Labor Congress on May 1, 1913, responsible for erection of Bonifacio Monument in Caloocan City. He died on May 31, 1963 at the age of 96. Guillermo key personality: Andres Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, Aguedo del Rosario, Tomas Remigio, Bricio Pantas, Teodoro Pantas. On August 26, 1896, start of the cry of Balintawak. The big meeting was held in Balintawak with the purpose discussing when would it uprising take place. Plata Pantas Valenzuela on the revolution early. Bonifacio left the hall and talked to the people outside. He appealed to them with a speech. He asked people to give pledge and what they were to revolt. They tore their cedulas after the people pledged. Was obtained Bonifacio to return to the hall. He informed everyone to board of directors also vote for revolution. However, in an interview published in the newspaper Bagong Buhay on August 26, 1957, Masangkay changed his narrative stating that the revolution began on August 23, 1896, similar to the assertion of Dr. Pio Valenzuela. But Masangkay's date was later changed again when his granddaughter Soledad Buller Borromeo cited sources including the Masangkay papers that the original date was August 26, 1896. Gregoria de Jesus, also known as Aling Oryang, the second wife of Supremo Andres Bonifacio de la Cambinia ng Katipunan, custodian of the secret documents, seal and some weapons of the Katipunan, and constantly risked her life in safeguarding them. In August 25, 1896, first cry freedom occurred near Caloocan. Based on the event, activities of the Katipunan had reached nearly all the corners of the Philippine archipelago. Its existence was discovered, arrested, so they immediately returned to Caloocan. Andres Bonifacio and other Katipuneros left the town after some days. On August 25, 1896, the uprising began with the first cry for freedom, fled town at 11 o'clock at night, going through the rice field of La Loma to return to Manila. Then, his husband in the mountain and shared hardships and sacrifices of a patriot's life with him. Based on her account, after the revolution in August 1896, she lived with her parents in Caloocan, then fled to Manila. When she was told that the Spanish authorities wanted to arrest her, eventually she joined her husband in the mountains and shared adversities with him. In her account, the first cry happened near Caloocan on August 25, 1896.